Today is not fun. I do not feel good right now, but I told you all that I would do an unboxing whenever I got this in the mail, and I received it. Another month of bad decisions and overspending. I'm gonna tell you all the books that I bought on one order of BookOutlet because they had their President's Day sale, which was 15% off the entire website. Plus, since I'm a BookOutlet vlogger, they gave me a gift card to spend. I just go too crazy every single time, and on top of that, there was the discount. I committed some sins. Let's just talk about what I got. And I'm gonna forewarn you all right now, this is a very memoir heavy book haul because I'm trying to buy less of YA. So I branched out a bit, and I don't have scissors, but I do have a passion of hauling books. So I can break through whatever tape needs to be broken through. Okay, that's going off to the side. Alrighty, taking paper and throwing it. I don't need this. That's gonna add to the mountain of trash that still has yet to be taken out from before both my roommate and I were sick. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with my favorite method of unboxings, which is grab and go. The first book I'm seeing is Self-Help by Miranda Sings, which is a book that I've had my eye on, but I didn't really want to buy it for full price anywhere. If you don't watch Miranda Sings, she's on YouTube. You might as well just search her right now, but I'm sure you've heard of her. This is Colleen's book, Miranda's book, and it's like little tutorials and pages of craftiness, and it just sounded hilarious from what Colleen has said about it. And I really just want to flip through it one day and get a good giggle out of it, so maybe I should do that today since I am tragically ill. The next thing I am seeing, oh my gosh, I did not think it would be this fancy. Fancy schmancy. I bought a sketchbook. I've been really getting into calligraphy lately, and I've been wanting to draw more and do more artsy journal pages with white blank pages rather than lined pages. So I wanted to get this just to start practicing and to branch out more into art. The next thing I see, oh my gosh, this is better than I thought it would be. That is so great. I bought this little trio of tiny notebooks. I don't know if focus please camera. It's all Paris themed, and I just thought these would be so cute for like lists and little idea books. Okay, camera, get on it. I've been meaning to start a quote journal and a like to-do list journal, so I think that is what this is gonna be, and I can't wait to fill it up. Next thing I see is a large paperback. Alrighty. How to Build a Girl by Caitlin Moran. This is a book about feminism, and this is a book that I've heard about and seen around, and I wanted to get my hands on it. What would you do in your teenage years when you realized what your parents taught you wasn't enough? You must go out and find books and poetry and pop songs and bad heroes and build yourself. It says a novel, so it's not a memoir like I thought it was. Either way, feminism. Love it. This next book I see is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent, which I've been looking for everywhere, but Half Price Books is like, we're not gonna carry that, we're too elite for that. So I found it on BookOutlet for cheap, and I was like, thank you. This is one of the books that a ton of people recommend me whenever I ask for adult recommendations. It's about a woman in Iceland. She's been charged with murder. It says, as the winter months pass and Agnes's death looms closer, the farmer's wife and daughters learn there's another side to the sensational tale that they've heard. I just know this is gonna be great because I have not heard one single bad thing about it, and I've never read anything in Iceland other than one book that was really confusing and I didn't like it, so really excited to revisit that world. So beautiful. Can't wait to read this one. Ha! This next book is The Age of Miracles by Karen Thompson Walker. This is one that I read the synopsis of and immediately knew I had to have it. This is pretty sci-fi, I think, but it deals with the Earth starts to slow down its rotation, and then this book talks about the aftermath of that and all the effects of what happens when the days grow shorter or longer or whatever, and it just sounds ingenious and realistic in a creepy way and just sci-fi, apocalyptic. I thought it sounded amazing. The beginning of this book I read on Amazon on preview and it sounded amazing. I can't wait to read this. If you have read this before, you should let me know because I've never heard anyone talk about this one unless I'm really behind because this is a New York Times bestseller. Going back to some journaling items, I got another journaling thing and this is so cute as well. I got this little 2-pack of nature journals. Oh my gosh, this is so much better than it's Burbs. I need a moment. So these are unlined journals, which I'm all for. I'm loving it. So this one has birds, this one has pine cones, and they're so adorable. And birds. I love birds. This next book I had came as large print, and I do not believe I was notified it was large print, so I might have to contact someone. But this is a book that I've already read, so I might just keep it. This is I Am Malala by Malala Yousufzai, which I read a couple of months ago. I listened to it on audiobook, and I adored it. I thought it was totally interesting, and I love Malala, so I had to read about her life and her story, and I thought it was so inspiring and so brave, and I love the way that she wrote it. But large print, I don't know, like, I've already read it, so I don't know why that would bug me. You know what? I'm just gonna keep it. If I ever want to reread it and I'm really old, I can just read it with no problem on my little elderly eyes. So it's fine. It's fine. Alrighty, this next book is It Was Me All Along by Andy Mitchell. Someone recommended this to me. I don't remember on which video, but this is a memoir about a girl who was overweight and lost weight. And so I read the first chapter of this on Amazon thinking, I don't know if I'll like that. But it was really interesting. I don't think I've read non-fiction books about weight loss or girls who were fat. I think this might be inspiring and might kick me to get back into exercising because Lord knows I've stopped that since coming to college. This might hit a little too close to home, so I don't know if I'll like it very much or not, but I still am very excited to try it out because I haven't read anything like this before. The next book I have is A Long Way Gone by Ishmael Beah. This book follows a boy in Sierra Leone, and they are all soldiers for some, I don't want to say dynasty, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know how to describe this. It's just about this boy who is a soldier in a country that he doesn't want to be a soldier in, and it just seems so interesting because, again, I have never read really anything set in Africa or deals with these brutal topics, and so wanted to give this one a try out. This was the last copy, so I snatched it, and now we're gonna see how that goes, trying to get more into memoirs. I forgot I ordered this book and I just saw it, and now I'm gonna freak out because I've been wanting this for years and it was on there and I freaked out. Egghead by Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham is my actual husband. Sorry. Don't interrupt me. We're both struggling. I am in love with Bo Burnham. If you have not seen his comedy show on YouTube, no, it's on YouTube, but it's also on Netflix. It's called What? It is the most funny, he is the most genius comedian that I know. He's so real on current topics. She's shaking her head because she hates it, but like, I swear to God, he's 6'5", he's beautiful, just the way he writes lyrics and the way he makes puns and the way he performs, it's definitely a bit crude and like you might not be able to understand it at first, but he has so much underlying meanings and I adore him. And this is his book of poems and they're all comedic. I'm gonna read this as soon as I turn this camera off because I love him so much and I've been wanting this for so long. Moving onward, this is a small little hardback. What to heck? I kind of bought this book on a whim. I was literally about to press like the buy books button and then I did one last scroll through, saw this and was like, yeah. Headscarves and Hymens, Why the Middle East Needs a Sexual Revolution by Mona El-Tahawi. This just seems so new to me and so interesting that I had to give it a try. I'm sure just from the title you can know what this is about, but it's about women in the Middle East and how they are needing feminism there, or some of them, I don't know. I don't want to say anything too broad or wrong, so I'm just gonna leave it at this. It's probably self-explanatory. I want to try this out really bad, and it just caught my attention at the last minute. I jumped on it. The same woman that wrote this book blurbed the back of this one, so hopefully it's just gonna be a good one, and yay! Moving onward. So this is a book that I am super excited to get. Not excited that it's a movie cover, but I got it for like, what, $4, so it was worth it. Wild by Cheryl Strayed. This is a memoir about a woman who hikes the something oceanic something trail that goes from Washington to Southern. I love those adventure books that are all about self-discovery hikes and wilderness, like Into the Woods by John Krakauer. Just anything like that, I'm all for it, and so heard about this one. I just needed to try this. Needed to. So therefore it's in my hands now. I just ripped this book cover. I hate myself. This is the one that I bought used, and there's just a tiny tear on the top corner that looks like a box cutter, but I mean, like, Can you even notice that? So this book is A House in the Sky by Amanda Linhout and Sarah Corbett. This is the memoir of the woman who was in Somalia as a reporter slash researcher, and she was abducted by some men and held captive for several years. I read the first chapter of this and was absolutely entranced, wanted to know more about her story, wanted to hear more of what she had to say. She just seems like such an inspiring woman going out into the world and making stories and creating discussion about those areas. So I just really want to hear more about her, really want to hear her story, and this book just seems really good. Alrighty, this next book I have is The Shell Collector by Anthony Doerr. So I'm also trying to get more into short stories as well as memoirs and nonfiction and that sort of thing. So this is a collection of short stories by someone who I know and someone who I trust and someone whose book I gave like a 4.5 star rating to. So I think I'm gonna like this one. Speaking of short stories, I bought Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris. My English professor last semester was obsessed with this author and we read so much by him, and I thought, why not buy some of his essays, sorry, not stories, essays, which are like some of the most highly recommended by him. And the synopsis that I read about this was really funny, and I wanted to see if I could read that, but I don't think it's on here anywhere. But I think this is about him learning French or something, and this is a phrase he said, and so all these stories are about. Good question. I'm not prepared to film this video, apparently. And the last book that I bought. Box is now empty. I can now wear it on my head. This is not cute. Oh, I forgot to take a thumbnail. I guess I gotta close this back up and pretend that I didn't open it yet. This last book is Adulting: How to Become a Grown-Up in 468 Easy-ish Steps. I saw this and was like, I've literally been looking for something like this for months. So this is just like a how-to book about different things in your life. Let me see if there's a... Yeah, here's the contents. Cooking, fake it till you make it, get a job, money, maintenance, friends and neighbors, love, family. So just all the topics of your life, how to deal with things. I read the preface or something of this online, and it was hilarious so far, so relatable, so me, and I knew I just had to grab it, and I did, and I don't regret it, and it just seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun and a lot of information, hopefully, so I can learn how to adult, because I'm gonna be taking my first alone flight in May, and I'm terrified, and just adult. I'm 12, so I don't know what to do. So that is everything that I accumulated. Some of it I've already read, meaning one book, but the rest of it I'm excited to read or excited to write in, and just this pile of things beside me makes me so happy. I've been so sad lately, blowing my nose like a mad woman.